So, we're going to look at Musan for the next 40 or so minutes. You can spend Musan's first in fog, Shinden Fudo Ryu, kind of on the top 5, not on the top 3 Kata in this art in my mind, because there's so much to it, but it looks ridiculously simple. All right. So first thing, it's one of the only guys that's actually going to start in Ishimochi. Wait. Off. I'm gonna start. I wasn't maybe gonna say God. He's actually gonna launch a right low gut punch to me. So I'm here, right, kind of thing. So that's how it's gonna sound. Like I'm baiting him. All right, that's first time. I'm kind of like, oh no, man, oh no, please, because I want him to do that. All right, so that's the start. So as that comes in, I'm going to switch over into a Migi Bobi no Kamai with a Fudoken to his throat. Here. Okay. From here, we're going to Tenji no Kamai, so I'm never really looking next one. Okay. There's a lot that happened in between those two things. We're not going to be able to talk about them all today. So let's talk about the first part, the capture of the punch. This is a big one. If I am up here, my view of Adam is my hand is roughly kind of on his central line. I know where he's going to hit. I have a very good idea, because my hands are up here, that this is the target. All right? And so it's either going to be a kick or a punch. One or the other is going to go here. Now that that punch comes in, I can just drop this hand right here to get this. All right? Default, I'm basically going to have this hand come down to the spot that he's sitting in. Since it's higher, it will follow the path of his arm, and it'll be a lower locker. So I don't have to try to grab it out of midair. Does that make sense? So if we're both on this line, my hand is up here. When I rotate, it drops on that line, right to where my side was. And I can find it. All right. At the same time, I'm doing a Fudoken to the throat, which is weird. And the fact that I kind of want to keep him in place. If I really wanted him out of here, this would be a Shinden to the throat, and I'd break his trachea. Right? Or Shinden or Shinden or Shakoken. All right? I would really put this in there. So this actually is kind of a weird thing to put in, because this really doesn't fit well. So I'm actually trying to extend him out. He's here kind of a guy like this, and this comes in. Kind of want to extend it. Okay. Fight's not over. All right? Fight's not over. But I'm starting here and kind of getting him in this position.
So it looks like as he's throwing the punch, you are guiding his wrist toward your hip as you're rotating.
Yes.
Okay.
So think of this maybe from Ichimonji almost to a Migi Bobi no Kamai.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Don't worry too much about the distance and the angling right now. Just see if we can actually get offline, draw off that hand, and get together. Because right from here, there's a gazillion and a half wonderful things to do. All right? We'll talk about the rest of the under in a second. Okay? Switch my shoes. Find someone roughly your height for right now that you haven't worked with. On that one, just want to make sure you guys can get the hand drop and release, which is good. So now, let's look at the angling into this next part. So, as Chris comes in, if I drop like this, I can do it from here, don't get me wrong, but man, that throat punch isn't really going to be as good. I'm not really kind of into it. I really haven't blocked his shoulder off at all. That's going to keep coming. Right, that's not really going to do much for him. So I'm actually, as this happens, I'm actually going to shift more directly into in here. Now this is more of a dramatic effect for Chris. All right, I actually now have a little bit more turn in this too, which is kind of, popping up that side a little bit. It's not as simple as just stepping out of this. All right. So chances are, what Chris is probably going to do is he's probably going to throw his hips back behind me. Just fine. That's exactly what I want. All right. we're not going to worry about that aspect. I don't want you to worry about the counter right now. We're just going to go through the technique. But what I want you to worry about this part is as it's coming, get that line.
Yeah.
So it's more sensitive. Okay? Good. So I can proceed with the rest of it. You want to? Just a little work on there, that's fine. And the reason I'm going to put that in is so I want to put it over. Okay? So advanced thoughts. Everyone first, yeah. Boom. Advanced thoughts. Here. Get that. Like really appreciate it on. Okay. Alright. Okay. I'm going into basically like 1/10 of what this kata can show us. Because this is really an emotional kata about setting up, staging, fighting by the seat of your pants. There's a lot of the hand work in here. There's a lot of setting people up so they have only options to do certain things. There's the fact that the first thing is like, this isn't a great place. This isn't wonderful. This is a stupid shot. I really don't have this. You know, if I really wanted this to be good, this would be a Shinden right to his throat and get here. I mean, if this is what I want to do, but it's like, it's so nice. It's like, well, so your martial art, you get out of the way, you break that throat? Yes, that's my martial art. No, that's not really much to do that. This isn't the greatest position in the world. And this is one of the reasons this is here like this, is because this is meant to show what's going to happen 3 steps later. Okay? So, we've all done well in kind of getting off here. Alright? So now, what's going to happen is, with this twist, it's going to happen. I'm actually going to pick Adam's hand up as I hit him in the ribs and go under. Here. Alright? You think we should throw him the step back? No. You want to do the step back? Okay. The step back actually leaves the hand better. I'll take him here. The next thing Adam probably wants to do is again step to sit. When he steps to sit back, because again, this isn't the greatest lock in the world. Watch what happens to his lock as he just steps back. It starts to turn. Just naturally. Let's have a really good grip. But actually, maybe I want him to, because I actually want this grip. Right? And the more I tweak it this way, the more it snaps back. Right? So he wants out of that. So he fights against it. Great. Now I'm on the back side of his hand already. You see that switch and how that automatically happened? But shit, he's actually starting to regain position. I don't like that. So as he goes back, I'm now going to pick this up, go right in at it. And note that I have this arm right across my back. Because I'm going to turn my back to him in a second. This is a bad idea. Alright? This isn't even the greatest position. Alright, we'll talk about that one in a second. Turn out. Yeah. Alright. So now what we're looking at is we've gotten to here. He stepped back. That hand's kind of turned a little bit. I'm going to pull it up, turn it this way. Much as I can get it. Much as I can get it. As I do that, I'm going to step forward with this leg and I'm going to hit him with the... Yeah. Here. Alright, so I got a little bit of protection. My head's got a little protection because I was behind his arm. This part's still kind of screwed, but I'm right here. Alright, and if you want to, just unfurl right now, let's work on that heartbeat. Okay, see it so far? Understand what we're going for? That's the extra step right in. That this is happening. Boom. He stepped back. I'm letting go. That hand's going to flip. My hand flips. I'm going to pick it up and keep turning it this way now. As I hit him, step forward, my left foot hit him, extend him out a little bit. That elbow doesn't feel wonderful, does that? No. But also, I have that contact all the way from my elbow to basically the back of my head. I have his arm. I know where his arm is. I don't want to be here. I don't know where his arm is. I want to be here. I know where his complete arm is. So now, since I know where his arm is, I can tell if he does something. Right? Yeah, I can tell if he moves. I actually have a better hold of you too, don't I? Right? So that contact is very important. Because if I'm turning my back to this man, this is not a great idea. But if I'm going to turn my back to him, guess what? I'm going to have every piece of information. And I have a lot of information from here all the way up to here. Every piece of him is touching me right now. And I want to know this. Okay? Go there. Not funky handwork, tricks, visual. Here. You step back, you be suspending it. Again, I don't care if he steps back this way, I really don't care. Next step is basically just isolate this side of my body. Yoko, I'm stepping with the Yokoruki this way. Alright? Now, so I can then eventually step around into this with less steps. I'm not stepping a 1, 2, 3. It's up, up, here. Okay? Now I'm also pulling him as I do that. That's how the shot can get in. See, a lot of people think that this, okay, well, I have to make the shot so I can step forward with this side to make the shot. Because it's not there. It's like, no, you pull him into this. And now I get the contact all the way to and from. Right? I'm not doing this. I have no contact. This is very hard. I'm setting myself up for this turn, but pulling him into the shot. Do you see that? Alright. So this is a lot going on. There's multiple things going on. And this aspect of pulling somebody into a shot, as I mentioned these guys, we actually already had it. Because this could have been done here. On the very first one I could have done. I didn't. This is simple. But imagine if we had shipped this to a Shitanken and I pulled him into that. Oh man. I could have used aspect from the second part of the turn and the first part of the turn and changed the whole pattern. Okay? This is what's cool. There's a lot of levels to this thing. Forget that if you want to. Repositioning. He stepped back. That hand's turn. No, but it's not. This side only, please. He step, pulling him out. So he's rotating it this way, we're pulling him this way, and I'm hitting him here. And you're going to connect all the way from here to here. Okay? Let's look at the exit out of this. Look, we're going here. So, we'll detect. No, over here. He stepped out of it. Alright. Oh shit, started to start in here. Alright. Now, what looks like is that I'm not going to talk. There's something going on with his hand. I'm not going to talk about that yet. Alright? What I'm going to talk about is the way that I execute it. What it looks like is I'm doing a big circle and coming around and hitting his arm, and he collapses. Right? Or, worst case scenario, maybe I get to here. I was like, jeez, what was out here? How come he keeps turning this way? And those are very little bastards, so it's worse than I imagine. So, it looks like you're going out and around and down. Damn it, why is he there? It's the way that I exit. I don't go that way. I'm going this way. Out the line of his arm. This one. It's like over the shoulder, looking this way. Here.
Are you stretching that arm out?
Oh, still, I'm stretching out, turning all the way through. But now, since I'm not giving him a circle, because I'm going on the line of his arm, there's no centrifugal force, so he can rotate against. Then I'm going to do a back Yokoruki from here. On here. So instead of going like this, I'm going. I'm doing a repositioning rather than a circle. And this is huge in this art. You see all the time, like, okay, start back, like, rotate, rotate. Yeah, I came with you. I rotated. I did this big long circle and he came right with me and nothing happened. Okay, so we know my end position is over there, right? Let's go over there. That's a repositioning. Do we understand the difference? Rotating to a spot and repositioning to a spot are two different things. This is me, I'm going to do an Ichimonji going that way. This is me rotating into an Ishimoji. You see it? This is me repositioning to an Ishimoji. Do you see the difference?
Your body weight is traveling different.
My body weight's traveling totally in a different direction, but my feet are really also, Vegas is the footwork is a lot different. If I'm rotating into this right, it's just going to go wide in that position. And my whole rotation is left and left, which he feels. That's what I do when I come out of that. When I come out of this situation here, I'm doing a wide turn. He feels that he rotates. Right? He's the counteraction to my rotation. All right? But if I'm here, and I just step behind, I don't have the rotation. I'm just repositioning. I can teach a class for a weekend just on this aspect because it changes everything. And my guarantee you is 35% of your screw ups in this art are because you rotate into something when all you needed to do was reposition. See here, multi-gyaku. Rotating into the multi-gyaku. Kinda. Repositioning from the multi-gyaku. Same end position. Same exact end position. I was here on well. First one I rotated into. He felt it. He adjusted the whole way through. Second one I stepped right by. I put one right to it. There was nothing for him. There was no energy for him to adjust with. Do we see that? This is very much on display in this act of Musan. So he comes in. Boom. He steps back. Don't rotate. Don't go out. Step right by this foot. This way. Better yet, step right by this foot. This way. Straight through. Still pulling this way. We'll have to move one day. You're moving before already, it's 2010. Alright? From here. Now I can turn it into it. And back. It's more out, back. There it is. Okay? Very fine detail, but very, very powerful detail. We see it. Yeah. Alright, so again, gazillion and a half aspects. Stock it. So now we have this really neat aspect, and so we're going to talk in the last couple minutes of class. Like, we said this is a hard technique. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here, but this is actually a very brutal ending of a technique. But I also said this is a very casual art, right? Because if you think it becomes any first. I mean, that's Musan, right? That's all it is. I mean, it's not as simple as you do, right? I think you're saying, I'm working. No, there's a gazillion of other things that we're talking about because all the learning lessons, this is really a training house, just like a cop, right? One of those that went through, a cop is here, and then guys out, right? Man, there was a lot in there. There was a lot about having the setback, back in the beginning as he stepped out, I kicked him at the same time, and I bring him down here, and I go here. This is a lot. So these kata, I think, are really great because if you know them just on the surface, you can kick the shit out of people. You can do some major damage. But then if you start to know them a little more intimately, they really are showing you a lot of training tools. And we've already talked about the fact that using this to drop. In fact, he steps out and actually rearranges this extension, this massive step out to not make him turn. That's huge. Okay? So now we're here. I've gotten to this point in time where, okay, I'm starting to turn my back to him. This is not a great idea. Alright? Usually, typically, you don't want to turn our back to us. So we're learning about something, how can we actually understand when we're turning our back to somebody that we can still know where they are and they're controlling. So now, I'm going to actually disconnect from this for a second as I step on it. I don't know what he's doing. All I have is this. He got out with a knife and he's grabbed. I have no clue. I am in a horrid position at this moment. And I don't want to have to rely on that. I'm just going to do it so fast. Well, I can do it so fast he can still have a knife. This is not a great idea. So how do I protect myself in this position? Here. Okay? So what I have is an Ergyaku that kind of has a little Hongyaku twist to it. So Chris, if Chris came after me right now, it would be very hard at this step.
You guys want to come on over so you can see what's happening with the hand?
And what it also does is it prevents his elbow from unlocking. So if I'm here, just like this, I'm just doing it right this away, Chris is gonna unlock his elbow, hit me in the back of the head, and just warn over me.
He's gonna.
I don't want that. that's uncool. So I'm gonna have this but I'm also gonna have this. So now, unlocking it. It's not there, is it?
No.
So with this grip, I actually have control all the way down to his shoulder. So that would be that would be a lot harder knife stab. Right?
Yeah.
It would be a lot harder grab just to come and grab me and pull me back. What I'm doing here from this position, this hand has now come up. So I'm transferring very quick. I'm twisting this as fully as I can on this axis. At the same time, I'm pushing it in this way. So I'm trying to make this part touch this part. Now, I'm not pushing it forward, I'm jamming. Twisting and jamming. All right? As I come out, everything from his hand to his shoulder is locked up on that side. It's harder to progress to me now. Right? From Toyman.
I'd rather not.
That's what I need. That's what I need. If I'm gonna put my back to him, I gotta make sure he can't come get me. Yeah.
But he's still, if he's got a knife in his left hand, you just flip it underhand as you put me.
I mean, yes, I guess so. You know, I mean, yes, you could. I mean, I can't provide all the what I'm with, sir. It's like, he's probably, at this point in time, his mind isn't thinking about flicking knives at me. His mind's probably thinking about stabbing me if he's pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
You go into it and it hurts him.
Yeah.
Right? So, think of it this way. He probably doesn't realize this is doing this to him. So the first thing he's going to do is he's going to try and stab me. Then he may try to throw it. I'm not going to stay here. Go, all right? This is just so I can get around to break his arm. All right? This saves me in this position. All right? For that split second, it holds him at bay. It's kind of painful. Doesn't make me want to step in. Locks the joint the whole way up. And gives me at least a little bit of control while I'm like this. So not the best spot in the world. All right? I got to control the man that's behind me, and all I have is this way. You upper belts. What I want you guys to concentrate on, and this is upper belts only, is as you're in here, I want you to understand and feel what this does to his shoulder. And how this locks up his shoulder, and how this sets his shoulder into place. Because Chris, there's a difference between this and this in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're tweaking that hand. We all see what the tweak is. It's being rotated as fully as you can this way, and then it's being jammed this way as you do that out stretch. As you come out from that. All right. Once you did that, we'll talk about how you deliver the rest of the strike from there. So come with think of this. I guarantee you've been to a funnel so far, right? Well, let's like,
Yeah.
all right. So a couple things on this. Actually, a lot of them. I have it next to my face for a couple reasons. One, I can feel it better. In fact, I just had to tuck in here a little bit more. This shoulder, this cheek, I kind of have something, right? A little bit. I know here trying this, I don't do that much at all. Right? First thing I'm rotating as much as I can this way. All right? Without having to go over my shoulder. All right, look at this. All right. Now, from here, on this wrist, I'm not having the hand go forward. Okay? I want you, everyone come here for a second. I want you to watch this. This is important. This is actually, you see this in a lot of different things. This is actually in a lot of shows. Will's wrist is here. I'm not having his hand go forward to get that angle. That's not what's happening. These are staying here. His wrist is going back. And another reason why I have my base here is if I don't, it's elbow comes very good. That's the counter action to this. So I'll make sure this is here. And that's first steps back. That turn. Now that's a different story, isn't it? Right. I'll take that station. Alright, so again, constantly turning this way, constantly jamming this back. Making sure that I'm getting constant. Now, okay? So there's a lot. This back aspect, there's a lot of different stuff where I'm just sort of so on this, a bunch of that kind of stuff. Alright, without having another routine on the shoulder. Alright, off my shoulder. Here, let's look at this one. Pulling it out a little bit. Up against the side of my face. Not taking his hand and going out like this. Leaving this here and putting his wrist back. Now I got something. Now I can adjust his shoulder and stop. Right? Out. In. Out. In. Okay?
So it's like you have a cheeseburger and eat a cheeseburger and then your attention just get ever so slightly get taken away. To the side.
Yeah, but the cheeseburger stays in place. And my seat goes back. I'm not looking at it like this. I'm going.
Yeah.
And this is again another repositioning. This is me going from here to here. Not rotating his hand forward. Repositioning the jam. It's just done in a smaller situation. You see it?
Yes.
Okay. Come on, let's go. Then we'll break the arm. This aspect is incredibly important in the training, but it's not in terms of what we're doing. You know, in the regular shoot, get in here, stuff like that. You know, I'm not staying in that position for long. All right, so I'm not going to concentrate in terms of do I need to do it? No, you're not going to need it. I've already dashed you here, and I've dashed you up here, and I'm coming back in here. You know, not really giving you a lot of opportunity to get me. I'm just making sure. It's that wrist thing, but this wrist thing is kind of cool in a lot of other aspects too. Isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because we usually look at, Hongyafus, we usually look at Gyafus, but this is kind of a little bastard cousin of both, isn't it? Oh. Right? It's not just, you're this classic Ura. No, it's just Ura with this jam. Oh, that extra twist to that extra angle change in that Ura is brutal. Brutal. That's not a bone. That's an Ura. And your shoulder is toast. Good to know. Cool shit. But let's look how to really maximize the destruction of this arm. Boom. Good over here. Okay, gotta go over here. Now from here, what's interesting is as this foot's here and I shift out, this is actually a dramatic pull, not a rotation hit. I really want them, again, we've already seen it, we get this alignment. Once I'm here, I'm going to shift my weight. I'm going to dump this hand down and pull it to this hip. Oh, shit. My hand's right here. Now I don't have to find this because I know where it's going to be. It's going to be right in front of my hips. Now, don't get me wrong. You come out here and you get in here, you come out and hit. That's totally cool. But this aspect, just like you saw, of pulling them into a hit. This is right there. And because I'm pulling them into this hit, I can drop straight down to this side. I don't have to find it. Here, this side, it's gonna come down like a hammer from the gods. Oh, and the elbow's gonna be right underneath it by the time I get there. Okay? So, again, this is more for the advanced people. Think of the aspect of like, okay, instead of, if I get to someplace like this, I don't have to actually adjust my body to hit them. I can pull them to the place that I want them to be, and then hit them. Pulling them into this, just like I'm pulling you into a hit here. It looks like I'm going in and hitting you. No, I'm pulling you into this. Right? I'm pulling you into this. With my body, or with my arm. Can you see that? All right, last couple minutes. Just try that as you come out of that turn. Just dump it and pull it to here. Don't do the strike. It will be very high. You got to here, you got to here, you got to here, you got to here. All right? Ease up on this wrist. All right? Shift your weight, face him, pull this hand to this hip. And keep the twist going. All right, not. All right, go.